She could feel him through her diaper. His erection was solid and the pressure against her most sensitive of areas felt wonderful. She could feel his excitement as well, and it mixed with her own, feeding her, giving her new energy that she had never before experienced. This new energy was allowing her to reach out further than she had before, detecting the feelings of hundreds of people many miles away. She sensed the sadness of a girl who had just fallen off her bike and skinned a knee, the disappointment of a boy who had just struck out at bat in a baseball game at a nearby field. But there was more. She could hear thoughts too. She had never been able to read thoughts from more than small distances, the house next door, or across the street on a good day. What she was hearing now was a jumble of chaos. She couldn't separate the thoughts, and she needed to focus. The energy his excitement was giving her made her powerful. As her mother said it would, she was growing stronger and it felt wonderful. She knew he wouldn't last long. The power his feelings gave her was amazing and she wanted it to last as long as it could, but her own sensations were powerful too. She felt the pleasure of her human form growing as she moved her hips to match his rhythm. He was in his own world now. The pleasure was building to the point of no return. As much as he wanted to make it last forever, he knew he would erupt any second. Oh God, he moaned again. SFH. Slowly, baby boy. Don't rush. She whispered in his ear, hoping he would hold out just a moment longer, but she knew it was coming. He was about to explode into his diaper, and this too, she wanted to feel as much as he did. She was about to do the same in her own diaper. His mind was racing. He was right there, that moment of pure arousal and peak excitement, just before release, his mind hanging in emptiness except for the feeling of pleasure, and then it happened. Oh, he moaned as he ejaculated into his diaper. It was the best climax he had ever experienced, wave after wave of release bursting into the soft lining of his diaper, a real pamper that fit him perfectly. He was in paradise. Her orgasm was explosive. The feeling of his pleasure, together with her own, was more intense than she had experienced before. For a brief moment, the energy she was receiving from his emotions gave her the focus she needed to filter the individual thoughts she was hearing. In this moment, she found a girl of his age, and the one thought she caught from this girl, just before the orgasm took her focus away, was diapers. She had found another. The pleasure took her completely now, and she felt her release flooding her diaper. She bit his ear gently and moaned softly as she rode the waves of pure happiness to completion, feeling her diaper grow warm and damp. As the waves of pleasure subsided, his mind slowly returned to reality. He was still humping her. Slowly now, feeling every last wave of his eruption complete, until his erection became so sensitive in the diaper that he knew it was time to stop. As he halted himself, he could feel her biting his ear gently and breathing heavily, holding him tightly and still pressing her own waist hard against him. The shame came on quickly. What am I doing here in a diaper? I've got to get up. I feel so stupid, he thought. As her orgasm completed, she returned her focus to him, and she heard his thought and felt his shame. No, stay, she said, holding him close to her. Don't be ashamed. You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was wonderful, amazing, she told him. Hold me. I'll help you through the shame. You'll see, we have all day to enjoy this. Just relax. He felt her embrace and it relaxed him. His erection had receded and he now felt the warm, slippery mess he had made in the front of his diaper. It was an odd sensation and it embarrassed him more. He wanted to get the diaper off. There, just relax, baby boy. You did such a good job. She whispered to him, trying to bring his attention off of his shame and onto herself. She leaned back, exposing her breasts to him, knowing that their sight would distract him from the contents of his diaper, and she was right. His attention went to her breasts. They were beautiful, and he had been so excited before that he hadn't fully taken the time to appreciate them. That's a good boy, she said as she sensed his distraction. She giggled at his thoughts on the matter. So, how did it feel to do that in a real diaper for the first time? She asked him. That was amazing. He stammered. He thought about it now, realizing that it had been amazing. The shame was fading, and his excitement was slowly returning, helped on by the view of her breasts and diapered form. He looked down at the front of her diaper, noticing that low between her legs it appeared wet. Did she wet her diaper? He wondered. She giggled at hearing his thought. No, silly boy, I didn't go pee-pee in my diaper. I soaked it in a different way. Girls do that too, you know. She would have to teach him about this sort of thing. and she knew she would have time to do it. So what do we do now? He asked. Now we have more fun, she answered. Now we get little and make pee-pees and poo-poos in our diapers, she said, and giggled at the surprised look on his face.